Hello everyone, welcome into the Colourwerx studios here in sunny Palm Desert, California. I am so happy you are here. I hope you're having a great week. Welcome to the fourth QuiltAlong, which is the ModTV block QuiltAlong. It's going to be a 4-week QuiltAlong. And I just want to say, if you're new to the group, you might hop over to Facebook and join our Colourwerx QuiltAlong Facebook group. It's a wonderful group of quilty, colorful people, and we do giveaways, and you can post progress photos of your projects, you can ask questions, and we have all sorts of fun over there. So if you don't know about that, hop on over to Facebook to the Colourwerx QuiltAlong Facebook group page and just ask to join, and we welcome everybody in as we go through this. So as I said, this is our fourth QuiltAlong, and it's a 4-week QuiltAlong. We'll just review the schedule first just to begin. So this is week 1, where you are going to get your pattern and gather your materials and also pre-cut. Week 2, we're going to actually start to piece the TV unit and the leg units. Week 3, we're going to piece the antenna unit and also talk about the color bar blocks that you'll see behind me in the quilt here. So if you're doing the lap size quilt, you're going to be making color bar blocks, 4 of them, to offset the TV blocks like you see. And then week 4, we're going to be putting all of our blocks together, and we'll also personalize the TV screens with either a piece of licensed fabric or a photo or something similar like that, and then actually finishing off our project into a pillow, or you can make more TV blocks to make the lap size quilt that you see on the pattern cover or on the stand behind me. So let's get started right away. Again, this is week 1, and the first thing you're going to need to do is get your pattern. So this is the ModTV pattern. It's available in our Colourwerx shop. You can either get it as a paper pattern or a PDF pattern, and I might add that it's 20% off until the end of May because of the QuiltAlong. You're also going to need to start to think about what you're going to make. Are you going to make one block, or you're going to make several blocks like the lap quilt behind me? So if you're going to make just one block, you're going to need 2 fat quarters, and I'll put them right here. You're going to need 2 fat quarters. One will be your background fabric, and one will be the actual TV set itself and the legs. You're also going to need a scrap of something, anything, to make the antenna unit. So this is going to be the little antennas that are on top of this retro little mod block that we're making. So once you gather that, you'll be ready to go to make the single block. If you're making the quilt behind me, which is the quilt that you see on your pattern cover, or that is going to be 16 ModTV blocks plus the 4 color bar blocks. And so you're going to need 16 individual 3/8 yards cuts of fabric. That will also include enough fabric to make the color bar blocks. If you want to make more TV blocks, you just add additional fat quarters. So it's 2 fat quarters for every additional ModTV block. While you're choosing your fabric, I want to encourage you also to think about what you might like to put in the TV screen. So there's a bunch of different choices. You can do, like we have here with the yellow TV block, the same color as your background fabric, and that comes out of the 2 fat quarters as well, or the 3/8 yard cut. Or you can personalize it. So I have some things here I'll plop on the board. I have a piece of kind of fun fabric that has comic book stuff on it that I could fussy cut. I have another piece of fabric that I could use from Krista Quilts that would create almost like a static look. Here's a stripe from Kay Fawcett, which would be cute, and then another zigzag from the Kay Fawcett group, which also could be cute fussy cut. You could also put a photo like we have here. Our little beagle is memorialized in this little TV block, and so you can print out a photo. You'll probably want it to be at least 4 by 6 inches large or 5 by 7, and you'll print that out on photo fabric. And I have a couple favorite photo fabrics that I like to use. One is available at your local quilt shop, which is called the EQ Printables photo fabric, and the other one is available at Walmart or Joann's, and that's the June Taylor photo fabric. Once you've gathered your materials, you're ready to start pre-cutting. And so I would encourage you to get the pattern right away and look to pages 1 and 2 of the pattern. And in 1 and 2, you'll find descriptions on how to cut your materials, whether you're using the 3/8 yard cut or the fat quarters. There's also a handy ModTV insert page in each pattern which shows you how to lay out your cuts across your yardage to make sure that you're getting all the cuts that you need out of the yardage as well. And so one of the tips that I offer, because you're going to end up with several different pieces for backgrounds, for the TV unit, for the antenna unit, for the leg units, And so I'll start laying them out here. I like to label all of my pieces, and so I pin them together, and you can see I've got little labels attached to each one of these units here. And this is so I can organize my cutting, and also when I get ready to start piecing next week, I know what pieces go with what unit. And so one of the things I do is I'll either label these all with post-it notes, as you see, or if you have a word publishing program, you can actually make yourself a handy insert page, a handy label page like this, where I've just simply typed the descriptions of each of the units on there, and I've duplicated that several times. So if you're making several ModTV blocks, you can just spit out a label page like that, and you'll have 3 or 4 sets of labels for all of your TV blocks that you're making. So that's my tip on that. Once you're pre-cut, you're ready to go. And that's it for week 1. So again, you're going to need to get your pattern, gather your materials based on whether you're making a single block. You'll need 2 fat quarters, or if you're making the quilt that's behind me or on the pattern cover, that's the lap size quilt, you'll need 16 3/8 yard cuts. You'll need some fusible web for the TV screens, and then you'll also need to pre-cut at least 1 block to be ready to go for next week. That's it. We'll see you for week 2, where we'll start slashing and sewing this liberated retro block together. And I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you then.